Me? Nobody. I just need to talk to my lawyers.
Oh, is that right? You want some advice? Find better lawyers.
Hey guys, Kiwi here, warning of spoilers for Breaking Bad, El Camino, and Better Call Saul up to Season 6, Episode 7. In this video, I'll be breaking down and discussing the Lalo confrontation with Jimmy and Kim at the end of Episode 607, along with what he wants from them going into Better Call Saul Season 6 Part 2. Like the video if you end up enjoying it, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on Twitter for more Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad updates. If you really enjoy what I do here, maybe even consider checking out my Patreon, or give back to the channel by clicking the Super Thanks button under the video. With that being said, let's jump into the breakdown.
Tell us what you want.
Like I said, to talk.
So let's quickly recap their history as we get into Lalo's reasoning for returning to Jimmy and Kim the second time. During their first confrontation in 509, Lalo wanted to hear the truth about what happened to Jimmy in the desert while getting Lalo his bail money in episode 508 Bagman. Episodes 508 and 509 are two of the best episodes in Better Call Saul history, and for good reason. In regards to 509, Lalo's intimidation was at an all-time high for that point of the show, proving that he has his own internal lie detector similar to Tuco's from Season 2.
Tell me again.
Lalo told Jimmy to tell him his story over and over again, but to no avail. While Jimmy was going to direct Lalo towards the bag of money that he had as payment, Kim stepped in to save the day. Not only did Kim convince Lalo to step down and get all of his own ducks in a row, so to speak, she also did this due to not wanting Lalo to find the world's second best lawyer mug, which had a bullet hole through it. Although Kim was in way over her head confronting Lalo, she did save the day, with Mike even telling Jimmy so afterwards.
Hey, did you hear all that?
I heard enough to know she saved your ass.
Kim convinced Lalo to look at his own men, get them in line, causing Lalo to decide to impromptu bring Nacho down to Mexico with him to meet Don Eladio, instead of just going to Mexico alone. With the failed assassination attempt against Lalo causing him to fake his death and find proof that Gus was behind it, Lalo got so caught up that he even went to Germany just to find proof that Gus was hiding plans for a super lab from the cartel. At this point, even if Lalo can't find proof that Gus was the one behind the failed assassination attempt, he's trying to find any sort of dirt in regards to Gus in his operation, doing something nefarious behind the cartel's back in order for the cartel and Don Eladio to give Lalo reason to strike against Gus. Now jumping forward back to episode 607, the season 6 mid-season finale. Lalo's plans to infiltrate the super lab have been ruined due to realizing that Gus and his men were waiting for him, already suspecting that he was still alive. So although Lalo doesn't want to infiltrate the super lab location anymore, he calls back Hector knowing that Gus has tapped the lines, pretending that he plans to attack Gus that night. This confirms to Gus on his suspicions that Lalo's definitely still alive, but in doing so also reveals to Lalo the barrage of firepower that was secretly waiting for him in the laundromat, proving to Lalo that he made the right choice to not go in. This also lures most of Gus's and Mike's men away from the low-level points of interest in order to protect Gus at his home, where they think Lalo will attack. Lalo gets mad and takes his anger out on his chair due to not having a plan against Gus anymore. Going to see Jimmy and Kim wasn't planned, as Lalo had completely forgotten about them up until this point. The thing that makes Lalo think of Jimmy is seeing the cockroach in the sewers, calling back to when he called Jimmy a cockroach to Kim when she visited him in jail during episode 508.
Your man, he's like the cucaracha, you know? Born survivor.
Lalo needs a lead, no matter what it is, and now he knows that he has someone else to interrogate. Lalo is interested in Jimmy and Kim due to knowing that they did lie to him about what happened in the desert. He let them go previously due to having bigger fish to fry, but now he's desperate for any lead he can get. He knows that Jimmy and Kim weren't entirely telling the truth, so he returns to their apartment in episode 607 to squeeze out any more information out of them that he can.
Okay. Let's talk.
So the first thought that comes to everyone's mind is that Lalo wants them to tell the truth about the shootout. This means that Jimmy will have to admit that some hitmen were hired to kill him and take the bail money, forcing Lalo to stay in jail. Lalo already knows to some extent that there was a shootout due to seeing Jimmy's Suzuki Esteem shot up in a ditch. Jimmy's excuse is that his car died and he had to walk back to civilization, with Kim adding that some random civilians could have come along and used his car as target practice. And as a side note, I also love the foreshadowing with Jimmy's car in 503, with Jimmy telling Lalo about his Suzuki Esteem back when he first met him, unaware that it had become such a major piece of proof in regards to the shootout.
What do you drive? An Esteem.
A what?
A Suzuki Esteem. It's an import.
Huh.
So if Jimmy and Kim tell Lalo the truth about the shootout, Lalo will know that someone had to save Jimmy, as it would have been impossible for Jimmy to take out all those hitmen by himself. Will they come up for an excuse as to who saved Jimmy? More on that in a moment. Or will Jimmy admit that it was Mike who saved them? We know it was Bolsa who hired the hitmen, trying to help Gus keep Lalo in jail, but actually hindering his true plans. Mike was watching over Jimmy in the desert because Gus wanted to get Lalo out of jail in order to kill him in Mexico. Since Lalo was still able to call the shots while in jail, ordering Nacho to burn down all Los Pollos, along with other wild plans that Lalo had in mind.
Hitting your supply trucks, going after your restaurants, getting your customers sick, cutting off power, busting open pipes. He's gonna chip away at your business until the bosses down south don't think you're worth the trouble.
Gus and Mike later find out about the hitmen being hired by Bolsa, but Mike never told Jimmy this. If Jimmy tells Lalo that Mike saved him, it'll prove to Lalo that Gus was trying to help get Lalo out of jail due to knowing that Lalo could still call shots from inside after having Los Pollos burnt down. Lalo may be able to deduce that Gus wanted to aid in Lalo getting out of jail so he could arrange for Lalo to be killed back in Mexico, which is obviously across the border, so Gus wouldn't be a suspect. Lalo may even realize that Nacho was working for Gus, and that Gus allowed Los Pollos to be burnt down as to not raise suspicion of Nacho being a rat. Jimmy may tell Lalo Mike's full name, which could cause Lalo to research Mike, his past, and even his family.
Michael.
Now, though theory could possibly include Lalo going after Mike's family, I don't think that Stacy or Kaylee ever get caught up or even become aware about the cartel side of Mike's business, because that would totally ruin everything that we know from Breaking Bad. So if Lalo does set them in his crosshairs, Mike or someone else will most likely have to get to him first and stop him. But in regards to Jimmy telling Lalo about Mike, just how far back could this go? At the end of Season 4, going into Season 5, Lalo got away for the travel wire murder, but Mike gave the police the info they needed to arrest Lalo in the first place during Season 5. I don't think Jimmy ever knew about Mike's involvement setting Lalo up to get arrested, but it's interesting to speculate on Lalo figuring that out. Gus made Mike get Lalo into prison and then helped get Lalo out. Something that Jimmy definitely is aware of is the fact that Mike was the one that gave Jimmy info on the Lalo murder case in order to get him out of jail near the end of Season 5. How much of this will come up in future episodes, I'm not sure, but again, if Lalo really starts going down this rabbit hole, who knows how much he'll uncover, even with Jimmy just giving him a lead in that direction. Another thread that Lalo could interrogate Jimmy and Kim for is the fact that they both knew about the assassination attempt, along with Kim knowing that Lalo was still alive while Jimmy did not. The way that Jimmy reacts to seeing Lalo is as if Jimmy's seeing a ghost in front of him. Jimmy can't comprehend how Lalo is alive after being so relieved thinking that he's dead. Yes, Jimmy could just rub it off as being terrified to see him again, but Jimmy's reaction is just so much more worse than Kim's that I think Lalo could push on this subject. If Lalo realizes that Jimmy thought he was dead, Lalo could interrogate him on how he knew that. If Jimmy knew about the assassination attempt, does this mean that he knows more or was somehow involved? We know that's not true, but maybe Lalo could think so. Not only did Mike tell Jimmy about the assassination attempt in Season 5, but Mike also told Kim about Lalo still being alive in Season 6. If Jimmy and Kim get questioned about this, will they really spill the beans and blame Mike for everything? If Lalo finds out that Mike was aware of the assassination attempt before it happened through Jimmy and Kim, that would yet again confirm to Lalo that Mike was involved with it. And if Mike was involved, that means that Gus was involved. They could also tell Lalo that Mike already assumed that he was still alive, even before Lalo's phone call to Hector. This means that not only Lalo could find out that Mike told them about the assassination attempt beforehand, but that they've still been speaking to Mike recently about Lalo as well, and that Mike and Gus are still thinking of Lalo as a threat, or even just a threat in general. And obviously the only reason why they'd still be concerned that he's still alive or think of him as a threat is if they orchestrated the assassination attempt in the first place. Lalo may also be interested in Jimmy and Kim due to Nacho. Lalo knows that Jimmy had worked with both Nacho and Tuco previously, and that Nacho was the one who recommended Jimmy to Lalo in regards to Crazy 8 back in Season 5. When Nacho turned out to be a traitor, this could also be what set Lalo's eyes back on Jimmy when he saw the cockroach. Lalo already thought that it was Nacho who set him up to be assassinated in 510, implied by Lalo looking at the drinks that he was having with Nacho by the fire. Nacho was the only person missing from Lalo's compound, with everyone else killed. Nacho was openly blamed for the assassination attempt in Season 6 by the cartel, but Lalo knows that it was Gus, meaning that Nacho was probably working for Gus. Could Lalo think that Jimmy was on Nacho's side, therefore Gus as well? Also, in regards to this, could Jimmy just blame everything on Nacho instead of Mike? Could Jimmy say that it was Nacho who told him about the assassination attempt in Season 5, along with even being the one that saved him in the desert? Nacho could be a huge scapegoat for Jimmy and Kim to blame, since Nacho is dead and can't refute the claims. This could not only save Mike from being outed, but could also play into the famous "it wasn't me, it was Ignacio" line from Breaking Bad. Bad.
No, it wasn't me. It was Ignacio. He's the one. Siempre soy amigo. Siempre soy amigo del cartel.
It's possible that Jimmy and Kim could blame Nacho for everything that was actually Mike's doing, causing Lalo to reveal to them that Nacho is now dead, and this would only confirm to them that using Nacho as a scapegoat would be that much more of a safe idea, considering that he obviously can't refute anything considering he's dead. This could be the origins of Jimmy using Nacho as a scapegoat for Lalo, which could continue on into the Breaking Bad universe. Now back in season 5, Kim convinced Lalo to step down enough to the point that Lalo wanted to bring Nacho to Don Eladio to be their new right-hand man. Although Lalo was already going back to Mexico himself, Kim and Jimmy convinced him to get his own men in order, which led Lalo to bring Nacho with him to Mexico.
You need to get your house in order.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. If you don't trust your men with your money, you have bigger problems than if you trust Saul Goodman.
Could Lalo think that Jimmy and Kim are responsible for pushing Lalo to Mexico so he could get killed? Could Lalo think that Kim was hinting at Nacho being untrustworthy even though she totally wasn't? Bottom line, Jimmy and Kim need to not only give Lalo enough info to make him happy to get him off their back, they also need to prove themselves useful in order to stay alive. Unless Jimmy and Kim explain how they can help Lalo in the future, Lalo could just kill them alongside Howard even after getting info out of them. Jimmy and Kim don't know Gus, only Mike, but that may be enough. If Jimmy and Kim don't use Nacho as a scapegoat and instead admit to Mike being at fault, could Lalo use Jimmy and Kim to get to Mike to get to Gus? It's possible that Mike could be the one that they call to help clean up Howard's body and cover up his death, which would be a nice Easter egg reference to Mike's first ever appearance in Breaking Bad, being the one to help Jesse clean up Jane's death. This is more than just getting rid of some paraphernalia though. Mike will have to either disappear Howard's body entirely, create a fake story such as Howard going to Belize and never coming back, or set it up as a suicide. If Jimmy and Kim use Mike to clean up Howard's body, will it be while Lalo is there or after he leaves? Now I doubt that Lalo would want Jimmy and Kim to tell Mike that he's there, as Mike and his men will be able to corner Lalo and outnumber him. If Lalo uses Jimmy and Kim to get to Mike, they may go along with it at first, but possibly double cross Lalo and set him up for Mike to kill him. But the thing is, Jimmy still thinks that Lalo is alive in Breaking Bad, quoting the line after "It wasn't me, it was Ignacio," which is "Lalo didn't send you."
Lalo didn't send you? No, Lalo? Who? Oh, thank God. Oh, Christ. Oh, I thought...
But what did you think, Jimmy?
I thought... Oh.
So in Breaking Bad, Saul thinks that Lalo's still alive to the point that he could hire men to kidnap him, meaning that if and when Lalo does die during Better Call Saul, Jimmy will never know about it, always looking over his shoulder as Saul going into and throughout Breaking Bad. This is why I don't believe any theories that Kim could kill Lalo with the sharp end of the bottle stopper or something like that.
Because I was going to let you know about the stopper here. It's pretty sharp.
As Jimmy would have to never find out. Either Mike ends up killing Lalo but never tells Jimmy, or he does tell Jimmy that Lalo's dead again but Jimmy doesn't believe him. Jimmy could just think that Mike is saying this to get Jimmy to settle down, like some sort of false peace of mind, which he never does. Also, will Jimmy finally get his Breaking Bad Cadillac with the money he already has from Bagman, or even the Sandpiper settlement money that Jimmy and Kim should be getting soon? Or could that be a reward of sorts that Lalo gives him on behalf of the cartel for cooperating? It's been a popular theory since season 5 that Lalo or the cartel in general could gift Saul with his Breaking Bad car as a reward for working for them, especially since we saw a similar Cadillac in the season 5 Salamanca safe house with workers cleaning out the blood from the inside of it. Originally, I figured that Jimmy would eventually get this Breaking Bad Cadillac as a reward for working with Lalo, but now the reward seems to be that he'll get to live in general, and that's more than enough.
Oh my God! No! Oh my God! No!
So what do you think about this whole situation? What will Lalo interrogate Jimmy and Kim for? What info will they tell him? Will they rat out Mike for being involved? Or will they use Nacho or someone else as a scapegoat? Personally, I really like the Nacho scapegoat theory, and it also ties into the whole "it wasn't me, it was Ignacio" situation in Breaking Bad. Also, what will they convince Lalo that they're useful for in order for Lalo to keep them alive even after they've told him all the information that they can?
Hey, did you hear all that?
Leave any thoughts and predictions in the comments below. I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, and if you're new to the channel or just haven't yet already, subscribe and hit that bell notification to stay updated on when I post new content on Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Check out my Patreon or give a super thanks to help support the channel financially. If you got a few spare bucks lying around, it'd mean a lot, and also thanks to those who have already, but most importantly, I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.
Thank God he's dead.
Oh.